going live in the group. Hoping that you can hear me. Let's have a little look. Check the group here. We are also in the Zoom room. No, that's yesterday's, I can see. We just refresh the page and check that we're here. Yes, we are. Okay. It is Tuesday, and I'm in the house today. I'm going to sit down. I'm in the house today because the whole point about January Yoga Bites is to have it easy peasy lemon squeezy and no stresses. So with that in mind, just be sure that nothing is going to interrupt us as well. And I'll sit back here. My husband made me a lovely fire. Some of you will know that Rick is part of Yoga Road, part of the team really, because he supports everything that I do and everything that we do here. If you're watching on Facebook, please give us a wave or a like give me a wave or a like so I know it's working okay and you can hear me okay. Oh, thank you, that's brilliant. So I decided to stay in the house, and I've got the Zoom room open as well. But that's just for anybody that wants to come along to the Zoom room. The main thing is to do it on a live stream. And the recordings will stay here in the Facebook group and also go onto YouTube and go onto the website. And the point of this is to give a sprinkling, just a little sprinkling of self-care really throughout January. January can be a really difficult month for many of us, for many different reasons. So you never need any special clothes, even if we're doing some yoga. As long as you're comfortable, then all is good. So we'll start with the centering, as I often do, and we'll follow the usual ABC. So you don't have to close your eyes, you can keep them open, but you can close them if you prefer. A is awareness. So notice the space that you're in. Notice what you can see, what you can hear, what you can smell, what you can taste. And then bring that awareness inwards. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your body resting on furniture. And then bring that awareness inwards and notice how you feel inside. How are you feeling today as a body? You might find your awareness moves up to your head and ignores the rest of you. See if you can let it sink down. Wiggle some toes and fingers. Move a little bit. Notice, how am I right now in this moment? Notice your breath. No need to change it. Awareness. And B is balance. So have a little rock. Doesn't matter if you're lying in bed, sitting on a sofa, on a yoga mat, standing up. Have a little rock back and forth, side to side, up and down, a shimmy and a wiggle. And then settle in that sweet spot of least effort. See if you can bring some balance to your breath. Breathing in and out equally. If that's uncomfortable, maybe you make the exhale a little bit longer. And then C, A, awareness, B, balance, C, core. See if you can bring softness through the forehead, through the eyes, let your gaze soften or wide, through the cheeks, the jaw, tongue, neck, shoulders, chest, belly. We're not looking for collapse, but soften. Maybe inhale. Lengthen up through the spine and exhale. Try that once again. Inhale up. Exhale. And notice how that feels. Then, A awareness, B balance, C core, second C connection. When we're in the Zoom room, we look at each other on the screen. Here, bring to mind someone that makes you feel warm inside. It might be a cat or a dog, might be a person, might be a friend that you have now, someone from the past, Might be your inner self, your higher self, someone that makes you smile, feel warm, feel safe. Anybody. And then let that go. Have a little shimmy, have a little shimmy. So self-care. Self-care, I always think it underpins everything else we do. It underpins how well we do everything else as well. Because we're always around for other people. All of us are always around for other people, doing things for other people. Self-care comes first. My husband was reminding me of that this morning when there was something going very wrong and I was getting multiple phone calls. We were out in Stockton, we were actually in a shop and my phone kept going and going again and again and again. And he said, take a breath, pause, take a hug. So most of you know the hug. Most of you know the hug and have practiced the hug with me before. One hand round to a shoulder or going that way, if that's uncomfortable. One hand round to your ribs. Now this is from Embody Toolkit, from Embodiment Unlimited, but we've been taking a hug for years. So just making sure I don't squish the microphone. Take a hug, drop the head a little bit to one side, drop the gaze, have a squeeze. And feel into a bit of extra self-care, self-kindness, self-compassion. Take an extra squeeze. If that doesn't feel comfortable, you can take a hand to heart, hand to belly. And if you're out somewhere crowded and you don't want to do that either, take a little hand squeeze. Hands interlinking. Just take a squeeze. And the more you practice taking a hug, the more you can use the more subtle versions of taking a hug wherever you are. If you practice this all the time, and remember to try hand on heart, hand on belly, and take a little squeeze and practice those, then if you're stressed and out and in the middle of the shop, as I was today, taking a little squeeze. Okay, we're going to do a yoga pose. We're not doing a full practice. We will get to the yoga mat, but you're still doing yoga. You're still doing yoga, and I'm specifically sitting in a chair. I could have done this from the sofa, but the camera angle was better from the chair, and it's nice and cozy back. So a little bit of a warm up of muscles, so maybe take some circles at your wrists. Maybe move the arms a bit, like we did yesterday. It doesn't matter what you look like. Nobody cares what you look like. Circles at the shoulders, really gentle, if that's what your body is wanting. And if there's one thing that you take away from this month, apart from splashing self-care across your life, it's listening and being aware to what your body is telling you, because it's telling you stuff all the time. So moving the arms, moving the shoulders, maybe a little bit of movement of the neck and the head, gentle. No big circles going backwards, that's not very good. Then circle the feet. Look, I've still got my fluffy socks on, I'm not taking them off. Take some circles, move the toes, bend and stretch at the knees. The other one, maybe take some circles at the hips. I've always got leggings on under dresses anyway, and I don't often dress for yoga, but I've always got clothes that are comfy, pajama clothes I like to call them. And we're going to feel into a bit of a warrior. Now, again, it doesn't matter what this looks like, but we might stretch one leg out to the side, point the toes away. You might bend the other leg so that the knee is at 90 degrees. Now, it doesn't matter how wide your legs are. Your legs might have one in front, one a bit to the side. It doesn't matter. So you never ever want to go to the end range of movement anyway. That's not good. But you might feel a bit of a stretch. Your hips are forward, your chest is forward. We're going to find a warrior two from a chair. But as any of you have ever practiced with me before know, always take a hug before a warrior, because this is the important bit. Self-care, self-compassion, self-kindness underpins strength, inner strength. So take your hug however you choose and linger in it. Just trying not to squish the microphone. Linger in your hug. You don't need to rush out to the hug. Take a breath in it. Feel an extra squeeze and swish. And then when you're ready, sweep out your arms into your warrior two. you're lying in bed, you can do this lying flat. You don't even have to have the legs straight in. Sweeping out into your warrior two. Arms are about shoulder height, but if you'd rather have them down here, or if you'd rather have them down there, that's okay as well. Gaze through that middle finger. And then come back to the hug. Sweep out again into your warrior two, body upright, gaze through your middle finger, and feeling into the strength of who you are. The strength in who you are manifests in different ways and shows in different ways in each of us. It might be as simple as turning up here today, and that's not simple for some of us. Might not be simple for me today. As you know, I use you to get my practice because I do this partly for you and partly for me. Is that fact? Come back to the hug. We do it together. And one more. Warrior two. Feeling into the strength this time. As I'm imagining the strength run from fingertips to fingertips. And let it go. Let the legs go. Have a little shimmy. Have a little shake. Notice if your body would like a bit of squishing, a bit of movement, whatever it needs. All movement is good. Nearly all movement is good. But sometimes, especially those of us with health challenges, pain, fatigue, movement can drain from us. And I speak from experience as well as observation that some of you heard me talk before about I feel like I turn into a slug at times because I literally have ground to a halt, and bringing movement back is good. Right, let's do that on the other side. So leg goes the other way, one leg pointed out, one leg at 90 degrees-ish, doesn't really matter. How wide, doesn't really matter. Take a hug. Now, you can have your hug the other way. You don't have to be symmetrical because we're not symmetrical. I like my hug the same side because it feels more like a hug to me on the same side. Don't ask me why. I hold my husband's hand when we walk and I like to hold the same hand. We're not symmetrical beings. Or I'm not. Feel into the squish. Remember what self-kindness is like. Self-compassion. Self-love. Then sweep out the arms, head goes the other way, gaze over the opposite side. Doesn't matter if it's right or left, it's towards the bent knee. Feeling into the strength of your warrior two. Fingertip to fingertip. And then come back to the hug. Maybe have a little rock in the hug. And then move out again into warrior two. Remembering the strength in all that you do. Sometimes the strength is actually getting out of bed or sitting up in bed. Sometimes that's enough strength for one day. Come back to the hug. One more warrior two. Sweep out. Feeling into that strength. Imagine it tingling from fingertip to fingertip. And then let it go. Have a little bit of intuitive movement. Your body will tell you what it wants to do. A little bit of a squish, a little bit of snaking the spine side to side. Maybe move your arms, maybe move your legs. You might want to stand up. You might want to lie down. Any of those things are good, whatever feels good. And then notice how you feel. Notice any shift in your body. Notice anything. Notice how you feel. And then sit back or lie back. Find a position that's comfortable for you. Take the microphone. You can soften your gaze, close your eyes for a short guided meditation practice. Allowing yourself a little while for a bit of extra self-care guided by somebody else. Sink and soften into wherever you are. And traditionally in meditation, we sit tall, but you have full permission to be wherever you need to be, wherever your body needs you to be. And take your awareness, let your awareness wander through the body, and every single place we stop, we're going to look for a little bit of extra softness, a little bit of extra relaxation. So take awareness to the top of the head, and notice the whole of the head, the face, the eyes, the cheeks. Breathing in with kindness. And breathing out with love. And seeing if you can soften a little bit more. Take awareness through the head, through the face, through the neck, into the shoulders and the arms. Sensing or imagining the whole of the arms. Maybe taking some tiny micro movements in the arms, the hands, the fingers. Just to increase awareness there. And then let them go, let them soften. Breathing in. Sensing self-kindness spreading through the arms, through the hands, through the fingers. And as you breathe out, see if you can allow a little extra softness spread through the arms, the hands, the fingers. Moving awareness back up the arms through the shoulders and into the chest. Sensing, imagining the whole of the chest. Rib cage, the lungs, the heart. Breathing in and perhaps imagining the whole of the chest flooded with self-kindness, self-care, self-compassion. And as you breathe out, seeing if you can add a little extra softness through the chest. Awareness moving from the chest down into the belly and the pelvis. Sensing, imagining the whole of the belly, the whole of the pelvis. Breathing in. Imagining the belly and the pelvis filling with self-love, self-care, self-compassion. And as you breathe out, seeing if you can bring a little extra softness through the belly, through the pelvis. Moving awareness through the belly and pelvis, down through the hips and into the legs. Awareness of the whole of the legs, the feet, the toes. Sensing, imagining the whole of the legs. Breathing in and imagining the legs filling with self-compassion. As you breathe out, perhaps bringing a little extra softness to the whole of each leg. And seeing if you can bring awareness of the whole body into your being. The whole body. And as you breathe in, sensing the whole body filling with self-kindness, self-compassion, self-love. As you breathe out, seeing if you can sink, soften just a little more. And allowing your awareness to rest in the whole body for a little while. Breathing in and breathing out. Body filling with self-kindness, self-compassion, self-love. Body sinking, softening. And perhaps taking a little bit of extra self-kindness into your day. A little bit of extra self-care. Wiggling your fingers, your toes, taking any movements that your body is asking for, noticing what is needed. Maybe take a stretch, and a breath. And coming back to where we began. Plan is to live stream each day at 1 o'clock as often as we can. I think I said yesterday, on Monday it will be a recorded one, unless I do it really early in the morning because we have a family event. And the Zoom room I will open as well in case anybody wants to join and have a chat as well. Take care. See you soon, and thank you so much for joining me. Bye.